Hi everyone, I'm Beth Eland. Welcome to my channel. Today's class is designed to help you improve your posture, especially if you slouch often. Maybe you work at a desk or you're an artist, something like this where you're slouching often and your head is down maybe. You don't need any props to do this class, but if you have a blanket or some blocks, they might be useful. So let's go ahead and get started. Before we do, don't forget to subscribe, check the description for free content, and let's get started. Before we head to the mat, I'm going to talk a little bit about slouching and what it does to the body and how we're going to fix it in this class. What it does when we slouch forward often, really the fascia in the chest will kind of bunch together and it'll hold kind of taut. So, and then the fascia is in the back body is going to stretch out more. So really to work with this, we really want to open the chest and begin rolling the shoulders back more often. If you do slouch a lot, maybe standing up with a, perfect posture feels a little strange because your body is more used to being like this. So this is more comfortable. So when we begin to open up the chest, then we can really roll the shoulders back and it can be more natural feeling to us. Another reason we might want to improve our posture from slouching often is not only it's not very good for the neck, it'll cause neck ache and all of these things, but it brings the heart chakra and the throat chakra out of alignment with each other. So you're kind of closing off the heart chakra and then the throat chakra is just out of balance. So you might have trouble communicating and these type of things. And then everything above it is also going to have issues because uh, as we've learned before, the chakras are all interconnected. Um, yeah, if you need more information about that, check the link in the description. But I think we'll go ahead and get started. So let's head over to the mat. To begin, let's just take a nice comfortable seat, maybe sitting up on a cushion, cross legs, or sitting on your heels, whatever is most comfortable for you. You can close the eyes. Bring your right hand to your heart, left hand to your belly. And breathe deeply. Feel the belly fill up on each inhale. And exhale fully. Feel the belly rise. And then feel the chest lift. And then exhale fully. Maybe breathing in through the nose. And you can take an exhale, sigh out the mouth. Taking a few more deep breaths like this. Welcoming yourself to the mat. Letting go of anything that you don't need to take care of right now. This is your time for you. Let everything else go for the time being. And gently blink the eyes open. Bring your hands together to touch at the heart. And dip your chin. Maybe set an intention for today's class. How do you hope to feel by the end of it? And we'll start by moving into tabletop pose. We'll start with some cat cows. So come on to all fours, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Tuck your toes under, roll the shoulder blades back, and gaze your chest. Gaze forward, shining your chest like a flashlight in front of you. Then exhale, unfurl the toes, round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale, come forward, broaden the collarbones, really roll the shoulder blades back, feel the chest open, and exhale, pull the navel in, round up, and one more round. Inhale, gazing forward, pulling the abs up towards the chin, and exhale, round, tailbone pushes towards the heel, and come back to neutral. Step your left leg back behind you and roll to the inside of that foot. Lift your left arm up overhead for a modified plank. Maybe your right foot is moving back behind you, kind of like a kickstand. Your shoulders and arms are in line here. And then you'll want to, you can let this top arm kind of float back a little ways so that you feel a deeper stretch in the left shoulder and into the chest on the left side. So breathe into that. Exhale, bring your arm back down, come back towards table. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So stepping your left leg back, or right leg back, coming to the inseam, bringing that right arm up and overhead. And then once you find your balance, kind of let this arm kind of drift back a little ways so you feel a deeper stretch. Make sure you keep your shoulder down so you're not crowding your ears with your shoulder like you see me doing here. Your shoulder blade is down away from your ears, and you're reaching upward with your fingertips and letting your arms float back. And exhale, bring your hand back down in tabletop pose. I'm going to sit on your heels. Take 2 deep breaths here. And we'll do a modified camel pose. So bring your hands back behind you. Really shine your chest forward, rolling the shoulder blades back and gazing upward. I like to come up on my fingertips and really bend my elbows to bring my shoulder blades farther back and as far down as they'll go comfortably. Exhale, bring the chin back down, walk your fingertips forward. Come to sit up on your knees. So like stand up on your knees. And bring your right leg forward for a low lunge. Knee is directly over that ankle. Bring your right hand into your belly, left hand to your low back. Make sure they're level. You should really feel a nice stretch in that front hip here. Interlace your hands behind your back. Continue pressing your low back into your arms. And then kind of yearn this fist down. Try to bring your heels of your hands together too, if you can. And just yearn that fist downward, kind of rolling the shoulder blades back, maybe gazing slightly upward, but keeping the spine straight. Keep the abs engaged. You can release the fist. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, bring your right hand to your right hip. Left arm comes up overhead for a big side stretch from the left side. Expanding the left side of your ribs like an accordion. Let's inhale, sweep that right arm up. Exhale, frame the front foot. Tuck your back toes under, runner's lunge, maybe gaze forward, come off to your fingertips. And then step that back foot forward to meet the right into a forward fold. Bringing your feet closer together. Let your head hang heavy. Bend your knees a lot. Maybe sway side to side. Maybe even hold on to opposite elbows. Whatever feels good in the moment. Let's inhale, lift halfway, put your fingertips on your shins, roll the shoulder blades back. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees a lot. Bring your toes together to touch, heels kind of spread apart so your feet are parallel. Let's inhale. Keep your knees bent a lot. Utkatasana, chair pose. Look down. Your knees should be up in line with each other. You should be able to see your toes. Droop your belly up and in. Sink your seat even lower like you're sitting in a big chair. Hands to prayer. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, lift the arms up, straighten the legs. And exhale, hands come through prayer into Tadasana. Take 2 deep breaths here. Let's inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway, rolling the shoulder blades back. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. Drop the knees down and step back on your heels. We'll do the same thing on the other side, starting with our modified Uttanasana. So fingertips behind you, roll the shoulder blades back, maybe gaze upward, bending the elbows, really scooping the abs up. And keep breathing deep. Shine the heart to the ceiling. And exhale, bring the chin towards the chest. Relax, come back to neutral. Come to stand on your knees. And then step this left foot forward for your low lunge. Maybe checking to make sure that you are level. One hand in front, one hand in back. And then interlace your hands behind you. Maybe try the more unusual way, just for a switch. Press your low back into your hands. Roll the shoulder blades down. And yearn this fist down as if it's really heavy, as if you're holding a weight in your hands. And then maybe gaze slightly upward. And breathing deep. And then exhale, go ahead and release that grip. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. And exhale, left arm to your hip, and your right arm comes up and over. for a side body stretch. Breathing into the right side of your body. Inhale, sweep the left arm up. Exhale, plant the palms. Runner's lunge. Gaze is forward. Let's step that back foot forward for your Uttanasana, forward fold. Let the head hang. If anything is inside of your body, just let it drop out of your head with every exhale. Anything negative, just release that now. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Bring the toes together. Bend the knees a lot. Utkatasana, lift the torso up. And come and sit in your big chair behind you. Really pressing into all four corners of both feet. I like to gaze slightly down, make sure my knees are in line. Thighs engaged. Let's inhale, reach both arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, Tadasana. Palms shine forward. Your feet can be hip width distance apart. 2 deep breaths here. And if you have your blocks, make sure they're towards the top of the mat, easy to reach. Just inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the palms. Step back to plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly, keeping the elbows in. Exhale here. And inhale, roll the shoulder blades back, press your hips into the mat, and gaze forward. Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. Exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes back under and push back up into a downward facing dog. Hips towards the back ceiling. Spine in one big line from the base all the way to the crown. Maybe pedal out the legs if that feels good. You can keep your knees bent here. Most important that your spine is nice and long. Let's take one deep breath in through the nose and exhale, sigh out the mouth. Good. Inhale, reach that left leg up and bend your knee, stacking the hips, but keeping the shoulders in one line. And exhale, bring your knee towards your nose and step that foot in between your hands. Roll to the inside of the left foot, and you can bring your block to the inside of your foot if you have your block. If you don't have your block, that's fine. And then cartwheel this left arm up. So similar to what we did in side plank. So you're going to stack the shoulders and then kind of let this upper arm float back a little ways. Normally you would keep it right stacked all in one line, but this time we're going to let it float back just a tad, kind of letting gravity pull on it. If you don't have your block, you can have your forearm on your thigh here, or if your hand reaches the ground, you can do that as well. Let's just take a few breaths here, holding strong. Be full strength in the front and back foot. Let's inhale, push into both feet to lift the torso up. Bring that right arm forward, warrior two. Gaze is over the middle finger. And then kind of pull the pinkies back a little ways. So as if you're trying to pinch like a pencil between your shoulder blades, really pull it back a little ways. And remember, keeping the shoulder blades down. You're not shrugging your shoulders, right? Keep the shoulder blades down and pull them back. Awesome. Let's inhale, reach both arms up, straighten that front leg. And as you exhale, keep your left arm up. You bring your right arm down along the inseam of that front leg for triangle pose, either using your block or just keeping your hand here. Sometimes I like my block on the highest height just to hold on to it. And again, same thing. It's going to be kind of a similar thing throughout class. Letting that upper arm pull back so you feel this nice stretch in the upper pectorals here. Inhale, pushing into all four corners of both feet. Bring the torso up. Rebend the front knee. Warrior two. And on an exhale, cartwheel your arms down to frame that front foot. Lift that back heel up. Runner's lunge. Let your hips sink a little bit. And step that back foot forward for a forward fold. Swaying side to side. And bring your toes together to touch. Coming into your Utkatasana again, or fierce pose. Come on up. And maybe you're just holding here today, which is perfectly fine. If you want to turn this into a twist, just reach both arms forward and then swim your left arm back behind you and rotate from the core. So look down again, make sure your knees are still in line. If your knees are out of line, it means you're twisting from your hips instead of your core. So you really want to pull your abs up and twist from there. Like one of those army dolls, right? Twisting from the core. Each exhale, you're pulling a little bit deeper into the twist. And unwind, come back forward. And inhale, reach both arms up. And exhale, arms float down, Tadasana. Taking 2 deep breaths here. Doing the same thing on the other side. Inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Let the head hang. Inhale, lift halfway. Flat back. Exhale, plant the palms. Step it back. Plank pose. Inhale. And exhale, keeping the elbows in. Lower all the way to your belly. Press your hips and the tops of your feet into the mat. Inhale, cobra pose. Shining the heart forward like a flashlight. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes and push back up to your downward facing dog. Making any movements that feel good. Really pressing into your fingertips and knuckles, spreading your fingers wide here. Protect those wrists. Maybe take another cleansing breath in through the nose and exhale out the mouth. On your next inhale, lift that left leg up, bend your knee. You're stacking the hips. Exhale, step or carry that left leg forward in between your hands. Come to the inside of the right foot. Make sure your feet are in one line. And then either using your block or your thigh, cartwheel that right arm up overhead, finding Parsvakonasana. Slowly root down through both feet. And then inhale, pull your torso back up for your warrior two. Strong in the both legs. And then pull the pinkies back. Really squeezing the shoulder blades together. And keep breathing. Core is tight. Inhale, reach both arms up, straighten that front leg. Exhale, right arm stays up, left arm comes down along the inseam of that left leg. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Again, just letting this left arm or this right arm, top arm, float back. Opening the chest. You feel your heart get larger and larger. Anchor into both feet. Inhale, lift the torso up. Move back into your warrior two. Then cartwheel on down. Runner's lunge. Gaze forward. Move your block out of the way. Step the back foot forward. Uttanasana. Let your head hang. Feel that release in your spine. Inhale, lift halfway. And exhale, fold. Bringing the toes together. Inhale, come on up, Utkatasana, chair pose, fierce pose. Sinking down low. Maybe you're staying here, or maybe you're taking your twist. So reach both arms forward, then swim this right arm back behind you. And gaze towards the right side of the room. Keeping an eye on those knees, make sure they're in line. Make sure your spine is nice and straight, as in from heel to, or from base to crown. Exhale, unwind. And inhale, reach both arms up, straighten the legs. Exhale, Tadasana. Palms shine forward. I'm taking 3 deep breaths here, maybe closing the eyes. Just inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your palms down. Step it back to plank. Hold plank for 3, 2, 1. And exhale, drop your knees down and sit back on your heels. Keep your toes tucked under and maybe move that pinky toe out of the way for a little toe squat, stretching out the bottom of the feet. And then taking a few breaths, maybe cupping your hands face up in your lap. And if you have your blocks, go ahead and bring them towards the back of the mat now. You can release the toe squat even if you don't have the blocks. Release the toe squat for a moment. And then tuck the toes back under still. And with your thighs parallel, knees about hip width apart, you can either do your modified Uttanasana like we did before, with your fingertips back behind you, and just rolling back a little ways. You can use your block to add a little bit of height to that, or you can keep your blocks on the highest height and come into Uttanasana, where we'll stand up on our knees. Kind of, sometimes I'll put my hands on my low back, and it's like I'm putting my fingertips into my back pockets. Really pushing the hips forward, and imagine you're squeezing a block in between your thighs. So everything here is nice and tight, and it's pushing forward, and then you're rolling the shoulder blades back, starting to gaze up, back bend. And then you can begin to reach for your blocks. Keep pushing the hips forward, pulling the abs up towards your chin, gazing slightly up. If it feels comfortable for you, you can bring or lean your head back. For me, that tends to be pretty uncomfortable, so I don't generally do it, but it's your practice, so you should do what feels good for your body. And if you don't have blocks but do practice Uttanasana, you can cup your heels, but make sure your abs are nice and tight. Pull up. Really keep pushing that imaginary block in between your thighs. And to come out, really slowly bring your chin towards your chest. Come up to your fingertips. Bring your hands to your low back. Come back up to standing on your knees. You can untuck your toes and sit back down on your heels. And bring your hands face up in your lap. Take several deep breaths here and notice how you feel. You can move your blocks out of the way. We won't be using them anymore. You can walk your hands out in front of you for a child's pose, keeping your hips where they are, resting your forehead on the mat. If your forehead doesn't meet the mat, you can stack your palms or bring your block back over. Let's take 5 deep breaths here. Walk your fingertips in, come up to all fours. Let's thread the needle. So bring your right arm under, shoulder to the mat, and keeping your hips aligned over your heel, over your knees. Maybe reaching this left arm forward a bit. And bringing that hand back, coming back up, switching sides. Right or left arm comes through. Reaching the right arm up overhead. And coming on out of this. Come to take a seat, swinging the legs out in front of you, maybe bringing a cushion if you like to sit on a cushion. Paschimottanasana, bring your legs straight out in front of you, parallel. Flex the feet. Those should be flexed, nice and straight. Inhale. Find a nice tall spine. Maybe reach your arms straight up. And exhale, leading with the chest fold forward towards your knees. Keeping the spine nice and straight. Breathing deep. Push your fingertips into the mat. Bring your torso back up to neutral. Bring the soles of your feet together to touch, butterfly fold. Feet can be as close or as far away from your body as you like. The same thing, inhale, find a nice spine, tall spine, maybe reaching your arms up. And exhale, leading with the chest, come on forward. And I like to wrap my fingers around my toes. Maybe flap your legs and bounce your knees up and down if it feels good. Very gentle here. And close the eyes. And push your palms into the mat. Bring your torso back up neutral. You can move any props out of the way. Come to lie down on your back, maybe scooting the feet forward. Rolling down one vertebra at a time. Keeping your feet on the mat. Push your feet into the mat to lift the hips up an inch and over to the left. And then drop your knees over to the left. Sorry. So you're bringing the hips to one side, knees to the other side. And bring your arms into a nice cactus shape to keep with the chest opening. Let your body fully relax into this shape. Inhale, bring both knees back up to neutral. Push your feet into the mat. Lift your hips up and move them to the opposite side of the mat and drop your knees to the other side. Don't be surprised if one side feels different than the other. That is completely normal. Inhale, bring both knees back up. Bring your hips back to center. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Maybe rock side to side. And pressing the tailbone down towards the mat. Move your knees in a circle. Move the other direction. And slowly extend one leg at a time out into Shavasana. Taking up as much space as possible. Letting your feet kind of flop to the side. Palms straight up. Maybe closing the eyes if it's comfortable. And let each part of your body fully relax. Maybe feel it as if it's spreading out like it's goo, melting into the mat. Notice how your body feels. Notice how your mind feels. Breathing deeper and deeper as you slow down. We'll take 10 deep breaths here. bringing your awareness to the rise and fall of the belly. Recenter your awareness on the breath. 2 more deep breaths. And of course, you're welcome to stay in Shavasana. Otherwise, wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll the wrists and ankles. Reach the arms up overhead. And roll over to one side. You're cradling your head in the upper arm. Before pushing yourself up to take a seat, either cross legs on your cushion or whatever is most comfortable for you, maybe even sitting on a block. Take your time and bring your hands to prayer when you get here and close the eyes. Notice how you feel energetically, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And give yourself gratitude for coming to the mat today. You did a lot of work. Now close our practice together by chanting Om. You're welcome to join me. Exhale all the breath out of the body. And then inhale deeply to chant Om. Om. You dip the chin and blink the eyes open, looking at the fingertips, the mat, and then the room around you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. Please let me know how this class made you feel in the comments. Like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.